issues,
the
okay.
argument that I'm trying to make.
Are you saying the animals give consent? Right. So is the issue about consent then?
Personally, I think
No,
that
personally.
there is no way.
Objectively.
There is no way for us to know whether animals consent. I mean, as someone who has been to a slaughterhouse myself and seen 2,000 pigs killed in a
Emotional
matter of
argument again.
hours,
Let's stick to the point.
do you
Can you not be emotional and just let's discuss this on an intellectual level?
way to take away the life of an animal that
You
wants
see,
to live?
you're again bringing up some red herrings, straw man. Let's deal with the subject matter.
I'm talking about veganism.
I'm talking about your objection to consuming meat, because what it is, you are actually making those animals that you are trying to consume suffer pain. Right. So, are you saying if an animal were to consent, it's okay? Is that what you're saying? So the issue is not about consent then?
At all.
Good.
I think that we're talking about taking away the lives of non-human animals that do not have the
Okay. Have you stopped all the lions eating the zebras?
Okay. If you see a gazelle running down the street, is your instinct to run up and tear into its flesh with your bare
Hear my question.
Is that your instinct?
No. My instinct is for you to respond that when you see a lion running after a deer or a zebra, are you stopping that? And would you stop it?
Because they are obligate carnivores. They do it out of necessity to survive.
Okay, good.
We are not obligate carnivores.
Now we're moving on. So your question, so your argument for veganism,
in order for our own benefit.
let's understand that. So your argument for veganism is as long as it's for necessity, it's okay.
Yes.
If it's not necessity,
If it's out of necessity, yes, it's okay. We do
you
what we
can
need
eat,
to do
for
in
example,
order to
if there's
survive.
no plant products,
Yes.
and you
In
don't,
our
as
society,
long as you don't suffer the animal, you don't just, eat out of luxury, yeah, for good taste, you're saying it's okay to be a carnivore.
I think that if we're doing it out of necessity,
This is the only reason,
then
my
it's not a
friend. This
moral
sign is
issue.
the only reason. Okay? You're overcomplicating it.
Yeah, so actually I don't have a problem with that. In fact, I would say people are actually harming and suffering the animals too much, and that needs to stop. Not only during transportation, not only during raising them and breeding them, there's too much. Why is this appearing? Let's deal with the real issue. So now, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about people are actually suffering, causing the animals to suffer. So why don't you go one step further and say, look, plants also feel pain because they respond to pain stimulus. So why don't you stop eating plants?
Plants do not feel pain. Okay.
Again, there has been already Nobel Prizes won on this issue by Mr. Bolshu, right? That animals, just like
Let's
plants,
say that they do feel pain.
plants,
Do you realize that 80% of the crops that we grow go towards feeding livestock? So
you see,
we're killing more plants.
you're actually dealing with something that, look, let's talk about the understanding of veganism and carnivorism and so on, cannibalism. So veganism, is it linked with some kind of belief system?
It's the belief that these animals are not here on this planet for us to use or exploit unnecessarily, right?
Did God intend us to be vegans?
So you're not sacrificing anything by going vegan. You're just not taking what was never yours to begin with.
Now I want to know what is actually linked to an ideology. Has God created human beings to be vegans?
I don't believe in God myself.
So it seems like every vegans I'm speaking to, they have an ideology of not believing in God. So it's actually linked to a belief in the non-existence of a God, isn't it? So veganism seems to be okay.
Christians,
Hang on. Are you a vegan?
of course.
Do you believe in God? Right. So two
multiple.
vegans.
Yeah, but
Any other vegans who believes in God?
No, don't think so.
Right. So now we are actually coming to a
I know religious people
point
within the
where
movement.
veganism seems to be a particular ideology now in this time, driven by atheism, agnosticism. Hang on. Why is it that I don't see any believer in God among you? Then I will make some arguments after that.
Religion has no bearing in the argument against animal use and exploitation.
I just established that there seems to be a link already. Any other vegans here who believe in God? Sorry?
I believe in a divine creator.
Are you a vegan?
Yeah.
Good. So if your God tells you to eat animals, would you do so?
My God doesn't tell me to eat animals.
Oh, so which God is that tells you not to eat animals?
Which God tells you to eat animals?
No,
This
you're...
is about consciousness.
Wait. So you say you believe in a God. Where has
There's
your...
a divine creator. I
Wait
don't
a
know
minute.
if it's a God or not.
Where has your divine creator communicated with you
You was here last week about flat Earth. You argue about everything.
One moment. Another red herring argument. Flat Earth. What does banana and flat Earth have to do with veganism here? So my
I'm just saying
friend,
you was here last week.
sister, one second.
You seem to like an argument.
Because now you made a point that you are actually believing in a divine creator, where your divine creator has mentioned to you that you should stop eating animals.
You should know. You should know with your consciousness.
I'm asking you.
Kill another animal.
So where has he mentioned that?
There's no mention. You should
So,
understand that.
so it's your own made up
Have you not
belief.
seen? Have you not seen an animal cry because it loses
And I've
its
said,
tail?
any of the vegans who believe in God,
Are you vegan? Are you vegan?
I am not vegan,
Why
but I
aren't
can
you
be.
vegan? Why aren't you vegan?
Okay, I'll tell you why I'm not vegan. Even though I'm against animal suffering, even though I'm against all this overprotection of food and so on and so forth, you know, you don't have to eat animals. You can actually have all the proteins, as I mentioned to you, from plant-based. But why I'm not vegan is because I am not designed to be a vegan. Look at your teeth. You've got teeth designed to chew meat. You've got enzymes in your stomach designed to what? Digest animal proteins. So in your body, even from biology, you are not designed to be a herbivore.
Hold on, one second. Do you not believe we can live perfectly healthy lives living off plants?
Let's go back to the question.
No. Answer my question, because my question has bearing within what you just brought up.
You seem to think veganism.
Why are you shouting, actually?
I'm not shouting, I'm making everyone to hear. Can everyone hear? Good, thank you. Is veganism something that is of choice? Then you can be a vegan by your choice, or you don't have to be vegan by your choice.
It's a moral
Do I have the
stance.
choice?
It's a moral
No,
stance.
no, no.
It's a
Moral.
It's
When
an
it comes
ethical stance.
to morality, do you believe in objective morality? You're talking from a relative moral standpoint. I may have a higher moral standard than you if I believe in an objective morality.
We have, as a society, with an overall basis, we know it's wrong to rape, we know it's wrong to steal, we know it's wrong to murder, right? So now we can pass that down onto sentient creatures that are causing us no harm. Why would we murder, torture, and enslave them when we don't need to? We don't need to be eating them. We don't need to be using them. We don't need to be testing them. They're not for our entertainment. Oh, look, Joy, I'm still talking. Right? They're living creatures. Why are you so arrogant that you can think you can just arbitrarily take their life away from them without causing them no harm? Like, you do not need to eat them. You can live perfectly healthy lives living off plants. That is the end of the argument. There's no argument against veganism. I don't even know why you're bothering.
That really shows you the level of intellectual argumentation that you're bringing to the discussion. The only honest argument against veganism is that you don't give a shit. Right. So that speaks of your intellectual argumentation. So basically, you are against those people who take the lives of animals. Unnecessarily. And animals, they take the life of another animal because of necessity. So now we can look at your answer. If you take the life of another animal out of necessity, you're saying I don't
I can't control what wild creatures do.
No. If human beings live on animal meat out of necessity, you're saying you don't have a problem.
It's very.
No, I mean, I'd prefer that
I'm very unhappy.
because
No,
of the
it's not
basis
prefer. Your argument now has totally crumbled. I don't understand how your argument was in the first place. If you're saying it's all about necessity. If someone eats animal out of necessity, you're saying it's okay.
you need to
Wait a moment. Excuse me. I want to understand the argument again. If someone consumes meat out of necessity, why is that okay?
Well, some people are carnivores, some
Why is
animals
that
are
okay?
carnivores.
You're still taking life of another animal. Life of another sentient being, according to your definition. Life of another animal which feels and experiences pain. Why?
Veganism is about us individually. Why
Would
aren't
you-
you?
would
Why
you
aren't
happy-
you vegan? Why aren't you vegan?
No, it's alright, it's alright. You want me to? No.
If you are willing to accept the eating of animals, then by extension you should be willing to accept the eating of human beings.
Oh, the one that went to Saudi Arabia.
But I'm not control. Those random people in this made up scenario. This is all about here and
Made-up
now.
scenario?
This is here and now. This is about what you can do right here, right now.
Now I'll interject.
Oh my God, are you joking?
Allow me.
No, I understand your question.
No, I'm going past it. I saw how far you're
No, but you know what? I'm asking you a question now. Doesn't it go back and forth? Why can't I
you
ask
can
the
ask.
question? Why are you just like jumping in when I'm trying to
I don't need
explain
to speak.
something?
I don't need to speak. Yeah, you don't want to speak.
Why aren't you vegan? Why aren't you vegan right here, right
I've
now?
already answered. I would like to hear it.
Because you don't give a shit.
Excuse me. I've already said. I would like to hear
You
you.
don't want to speak to me. I don't need to speak.
No, you can speak to me. I would like to hear, and I'm sure everyone else is interested. What do you want to say?
Well, the point, there are a couple of points. One is, of course, that it's established now from what you've been said. A, that you don't think that it's compulsory to eat meat. The point you are going to be making, and I would agree with that, that if meat is required, well, A, that we are biologically built to eat meat and it's not kind of something that is against our biology. That B, that if it's required out of necessity, you should eat it. And therefore you don't kind of call yourself a vegan, right? That's basically your argument, right? Because you're not, your point appears to be that they are being inconsistent and insisting on applying a relative morality, which is clearly relative to a circumstance, as a general principle, right? That's basically it. And I agree. You are pretending that there is a general principle when you don't have a general principle. You have a principle that is only applicable in these current specific circumstances, where in a rich society, people, with the kind of resources that this society has, people are able to survive without veganism. The history of mankind is such that they could not survive like this. In a few years' time, if supposing we have a downturn in the civilization, if the civilization collapses, people will have to become non-vegan. Veganism, the ability to survive on veganism depends on a certain level of knowledge of what to eat and what not to eat, much greater than non-veganism does.
Google's really good with that. Just ask
No,
Google.
it's required. So
It'll
it requires.
help you
Yeah,
out.
precisely.
Bang,
It requires the
you know what to do,
existence
how
of.
to cut
It
that out.
requires the
Dairy.
existence of Google. That's exactly the point I was making. It requires the information.
It's easy. We can all access
No,
that.
no. Understand one further point. Veganism is. No one is arguing that veganism is bad. It is the insistence. Yeah. But why is it so?
To be arguing that it's bad.
You're really angry. So,
No. I'm just looking at your level of argumentation.
You can't argue against.
calm down. So,
Calm down. I'm just raising his voice.
okay, so A, your argument is relative, as I said. B, you're insisting on it as a general principle. C, no one here is arguing that veganism is bad. All they're arguing is that you don't insist on it as a general principle.
It's down to your own. I mean, are you against animal cruelty?
Yes, you said
Yes,
that.
there you go. That's it. That's all veganism is.
No, it's not. That's more than that.
Hold on. I'm
That's
still
just false.
talking. When we can live in a world like right here, right now in London, we've got abundance of products we can buy that don't contain animal products, that don't contain suffering, torture, murder, right? We can buy them, we can live healthy lives, living off that. So therefore, it's our moral obligation to choose those than products that are derived from enslavement, exploitation, use, and murder for a completely unnecessary reason. That is it. You're overcomplicating the matter.
So now may I say that everything you said, I agree with. So he agrees. I'm pretty sure. If food that is derived from exploitation unnecessarily, food that is derived from murder, be it animal or be it non-animal, derived from exploitation, slavery, murder, should not be eaten. It should be. Now, the point still remains. Veganism is more than that. Veganism is about an ideological stance which says that in no circumstances, except a very circumstance set, should we eat anything other than vegetables. You should not eat meat. This is, you know, you're putting ideology where ideology is not required. All you require is simple, basic morality, and we agree with the morality. You understand? You just, you're putting...
It's down on the individual. So right now, you and me, one-on-one, what can you do right here, right now? When you go to a supermarket, when you buy these products, you're promoting this thing. You don't need to. So
Let me tell you where I come from. So you understand that I think modern methods of farming are utterly destructive of the economy. Okay? I think modern methods of economy are utterly destructive of the way that we can live. I fully agree with that. All right? We don't have to agree on that. It doesn't matter. The point is that the basic principles are the same. You do not need to presume that I'm on the other side of that just because I disagree with your insistence on veganism as an ideology to be imposed on everybody. Human history could not have existed without. We could not have got here without being eating animal protein.
Can I just okay. You know, it's different here. The way I talk to the public is a lot different to the way I actually talk in Speaker's Corner. You know, it's a bit more, you know, you shout and right. So
Speaker's Corner is different.
It's what down to what we can do individually. We all have to take responsibility for our own individual actions. We can't pass it off. What would happen if we're in a desert island? What would happen if this situation? What happens with the Eskimos? And you know, what do the lions do in nature? It's down to what we can do as individuals. We are destroying our planet. We are destroying our environment with animal agriculture.
This is not consistent with what you just said.
No, but it's just my way of engaging in conversation.
No, that's not.
Why? But that is the only honest argument in this right. With the people I'll be talking to right here, right now, that is the only
One
honest
further
argument.
point on this, you mentioned about moral obligation. So do I assume that you are really propagating against any product that comes from occupied territories, like in West Bank and other places where Israel actually has occupied? Yeah. So all the vegans, those who support this ideology or moral obligation to that, you are actually with the Palestinians. Excuse me?
I'm with the Palestinians.
Because they're enslaved.
Their products are called
Yeah.
slavery.
And in their territory which has been occupied, they're making products and they're selling in shops.
Okay, you don't see that.
Where, and you're buying them. So basically, you are now also like Googling and finding out which of the Israeli products you should boycott that comes from occupied territory.
I will,
right?
I will, yeah, definitely, I will.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that means you are consistent with your moral obligation.
So once you become vegan, your sphere of compassion extends. So I'm starting to buy less plastic, buy bamboo toothbrushes, you know, trying to be less environmentally destructive, because that's veganism is just the start. And you start thinking about more and more.
I cycle everywhere, except I cycle everywhere.
Yeah, we can all do our bit, but the biggest impact that you can have, both on the animals and the environment, is veganism.
Well,
And then
actually, no.
Plant-based.
Actually, if you become a Muslim, then you will see the greatest impact, the biggest impact. Then you will be what? No to any racism, no to any kind of differentiation,
false economic
no to
methods.
no to unjustified warfare on people, killing them, pillaging them, and so on and so forth.
No to destruction
you
of
can
the
do
economy.
that without
No to destruction
You can do
of
that
even.
without religion.
No. When you become a vegan, I'm saying Islam provides you even a better solution for your standpoint.
I don't everything you just said.
Necessarily, yes. Allow me to explain.
You can do that.
Okay. What's your name?
Mark.
Start. Put it there. Right. Now, there's a difficulty with your argument, all right? So you say that without religion, or without, basically, I'll use slightly different terminology, without shared ideology, without so largely, in fact, imposed ideology, you can achieve this, right? You cannot. So I'll give an example. I'm walking down the street, and a little old lady is walking down the other way. I'm walking on the footpath, little old lady is walking towards me. I'm a nasty bastard. Okay, I'm hefty and nasty compared to her. And
She must be tiny.
and she's a tiny little old lady hobbling along. And I get upset with her blocking my path, and I push her out of the way. You are a nice guy, you're walking past, you get very angry with her. You say, why did you? She falls down. Okay?
Yep.
You're a nice guy, you say to me, why did you do that? Couldn't you see the lady was hobbling along, and you could easily have got out of the way. Why did you push her way through? I say, well, she actually can't walk properly, it's her affair. I have a right to walk here. You get even angry, you get upset with me, and you say, I'm going to stop you, and you get very angry with me, and you beat me up. Okay? I say, okay, you're going to beat me up? This is my neighborhood, I'm going to bring my friends, and I'm going to beat you up. And so next day we meet, and you bring your friends, I bring my friends, and we have a war. Let's see who's got the big army, right? And it escalates, and we get bigger, and that's the way the world works.
Yeah,
With love fights hate.
No, the fact is.
but what's that got to do with
Yeah.
religion and
Right, all the things you said.
veganism? I don't understand
So what
either
you're saying
where
is
it's
that
going.
the very point is that you're saying that you've got an ideology, you've got an idea. Well, it's
The moral basis, our moral
fine,
baseline.
it's an idea.
I mean, it was
good
an idea to have like slaves at some point.
It's a good idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea.
It's
an
catching
idea,
on,
for God's
basically,
sake.
anyway.
All right. So you've got a good idea.
Yeah.
And
Solid.
You've got a solid good idea, and you think that everybody's going to adopt it just by
I hope
word of
no.
mouth?
We
No.
encourage,
No,
we
we
encourage,
encourage,
educate,
we talk to
educate.
people
So now,
about it.
so now,
Yeah.
so
We're
now,
not dictating. We aren't dictating,
right.
really.
So now, if you look at the world as it is today, the vast majority of people who are involved in farming, certainly on the industrial scale, all the industrial farming, everybody understands this argument.
Yeah.
There's nobody,
I'm loving this.
there's
Go
not,
on,
there's,
carry on.
there is not one government on the face of the earth who does not understand this argument.
Yeah.
Or the ecological argument.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They are supporting the destruction of the ecology. Got it?
Under what?
They are supporting the destruction of the ecology.
Currently, yes.
Yeah. Even though they fully understand all the arguments. Right. That's why we have to speak the way we do. You have to accept the right morality which everybody shares, and then you can proceed. You cannot be a
What was their moral standard
but we're
which
fighting,
allows
we're fighting.
knowing this but still
because
doing
what
it?
they say is
Do you see there's a higher moral standard than them?
You see the point I was making about the guy who's walking down the road, pushing the little old lady across, they are these guys. They are these guys with their armies.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah. And our point is, we're going out, and this is why it's a grassroots movement, and we're going out.
But I'm
and
saying
talking to
there's a higher moral
individuals,
standard.
And as individuals change,
Islam
and make that.
offers you that higher moral standard
For you,
for
for
everything,
you.
love
For
and
you.
compassion. No, for everybody.
We have
this
that
is
without Islam.
perhaps because actually this is what we said. You even supported
told you, it doesn't
cannibalism if it's out of necessity, and that's love to
Well,
you.
no, actually, to be perfectly honest, I say my moral standing is if you're in a situation and you're going to die and there's someone else, any sentient being, you should starve yourself to death. Because why take the life of someone who's causing you no harm and is living perfectly healthy when you're the one struggling? It's your own fault. I'm not saying everyone else is on that sort of level. That's my own personal moral
You
standing.
can't, you see,
Okay?
look, now you're an sticker with it because obviously you know perfectly well you can't help destroying bacteria all the time. So where do you draw
We're
the
just,
line? What do you
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
What do you mean
We're
by-
living in an
Yeah,
imperfect
so-
world.
so
We
it's
can
not-
strive to do better, but
Wow.
the biggest destruction,
You're
the biggest
totally
impact we're
inconsistent.
having is the eating animal products right now. And that's a supply and demand. It only exists.
The point you seem to be all missing is the inconsistency in your approach.
And what's
We Muslims,
inconsistent-
we bring Islam to you to be absolutely consistent in what we do. You are okay with taking antibiotics, killing the bacteria, killing the viruses, killing fungi.
You're okay with
Yep.
breathing. You're okay with breathing.
Life. You're okay of killing other lives. And then the lady I spoke to earlier, she's saying, oh, but they're not feeling pain because they're not sentient, they haven't got a brain, they haven't got... So you're actually saying the only thing that experience pain are those who have a brain and a nervous
That may
system.
be true, but the point is, why
You're
is pain?
inconsistent
Why
as
is
well.
pain?
You're so
why are you raising
inconsistent.
pain above life? You know, bacteria have
I
life.
don't understand how, surely, what we've said enough words
Do
now.
you
that
see this
should
argument
be-
now?
No, I'm
Instead of talking about pain and suffering, your question was actually about life. You're taking the life of a bacteria. Life. You're not worried about it?
It's about minimizing exploitation.
No, it's not about life anymore. It's about exploitation.
Just by being alive,
You are-
we're
you're
going to have
in the
some
minority if you
impact.
think
That's
a
what we're
bacteria
going Where it's
is in the
about
same-
minimizing
Would you
impact.
kill someone to make you live?
Come on, it's
Is that what you're saying?
sentience. That's
I
it.
personally
Such a simple.
would try not to.
So when you have a severe infection
who knows?
that is going to kill you, you will not take antibiotics to kill those infected. infective organisms to make you live.
So you're
talking
putting
about
bacteria
sentient
on the
life.
same
Live,
plane
alive.
You keep on interrupting.
Alive.
You keep on interrupting.
Alive.
Sentient life.
Yeah, but
Alive.
you're putting bacteria on the same
So
plane.
let me answer this.
As pigs, cows,
Let me allow me.
fish.
Allow me.
Why is
Yeah,
that
so
the
it's absolutely
same?
brutal. It's one of the halal meat, halal slaughter is
Allow me.
absolutely.
We can discuss halal separately.
We can discuss that and show you how
No,
it's
no,
human.
listen. But
seen
regarding
See
bacteria.
this, absolutely.
Let's talk about bacteria.
Oh no, it's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
You're being very
Absolutely
inconsistent.
ridiculous.
Ridiculous
You are-
argument.
Let me make the point regarding bacteria.
No, I mean, we're wasting our time. We could be talking to actually compassionate people. That
What
would
about
make a
bacteria?
difference. We are wasting our
Okay,
time talking to
That's
you.
fine. Please continue. What is it about
I don't
bacteria?
myself
I'm going to
believe in
talk
talking
to
to people who don't want to talk.
normal, bloody
If you're willing to-
intellectuals, actually.
I-
Like talking about bacteria. What you want
I
about?
don't believe in talking about. I mean, I know you like to. You talk to
No,
everyone.
the reason why...
I only talk to people who want to talk.
Exactly. I mean, obviously he's lost his argument already. That's why he had to go. I mean, number one. Let's talk about bacteria.
Well, he's not, because I don't
Let's talk
understand
about bacteria
the
then.
What's the relevance of bacteria? It makes no
Alive,
sense.
alive.
But let me make,
Sentient life. We're talking about sentient life.
And the capacity to feel
allow me to make the
pain.
point.
So kind of paying them.
Okay, the point here.
But
We
what
are,
in circles?
we are multicellular animals. We are multicellular beings. What's a multicellular being? You know what a multicellular being is? A multicellular being is simply a colony of single cells. Not that different from bacteria just clumping together. Not that different, honestly. We are examining it at a detailed level. That's all we are. Okay? The pretense, what you call sentience and so on, these are abstractions. These are kind of emerging phenomena, which are, you can. They are emerging phenomena which arise from the complexity of the interaction of these objects, right? Which make up us. To pretend that they are at an elevated level above the bacteria is just a pretense. Anyway, you have understood the point, I think. If you have not understood the point, there's not much.
I really don't see the relevance.
Do you understand the point, first of all?
No,
Okay,
because
let me try to explain it in a different way.
I
The difference between a human being and a bacterial colony, a bacteria has lots
single
of
bacteria.
single bacteria.
That we are a colony and
A
they're not.
colony, but bacteria doesn't have a lot. They actually divide and they're in a colony. Human beings, our cells, there are also lots of cells together,
we are
like
a
a
colony
colony.
of bacteria.
So
We are
you're
a colony
saying-
of cells. Bacteria, they're a colony of cells.
individuals. Are
They're individuals, also they are actually
You're
together as a
making the
colony.
comparison between, for example, cancer cells and slitting the throat of
Human beings, are you not saying human beings are not colony of
okay, so
cells?
you see, in your eyes, you see no difference between bacteria, non-human animals, and humans. Is that what you're
That's
saying?
not the point that's being made.
Well, that's what you're saying to us.
No,
that's what
that's
you're
why you
saying
need to understand the argument first.
Understand the point. There is obviously difference. Right?
Yeah.
There are many differences. There are many differences. But the point is being made about the difference between life and non-life. Okay? And whether it is why it is that one would value veganism as opposed to non-veganism. Okay? Why would one do that? Because of a certain principle that you're applying. You're applying some sort of principle that certain kinds of life are superior to other life. You're applying that. Which is fair enough. So you're drawing a line somewhere. I'm saying that line is arbitrary. Okay? It has to be arbitrary.
Stop killing animals.
Okay?